everybody, welcome to Hodge Podge Australia. It has been almost a year since I went to Disney World with the family and I'm reminiscing about Disney this month. So all this month of September it's going to be Disney creations, hence the ears. I just love them, they're so cute, stole them from my daughter. But what we're going to start with first are Donald and Daisy Cupcakes. Donald Duck is my absolute favourite Disney character. He's always been my favourite. I love the way he absolutely loses it because how can you not love someone who just loses it like that? But he is my favourite and he doesn't get enough recognition in the baking world. It's always Mickey or Minnie. And that's fine because I've made plenty of Mickey and Minnie stuff myself and it's nice and easy and it's always very colourful and everybody knows what Mickey and Minnie look like, but I think Donald and Daisy deserve their own cupcakes as well. So stay tuned and watch this tutorial for these beautiful Donald and Daisy cupcakes. I hope they're in focus. My camera's never good at focusing. But stick with us. Make sure you subscribe to us here at Hodge Podge Australia. We do upload weekly. If you have any requests for any Disney creations, certainly hit me up in the comment section below and I will see what I can do. But thanks for watching.
Let's start with some cupcakes in different coloured wrappers. We want blue for Donald and nice purple for Daisy. You're going to want some white buttercream. Now here in Australia I've used Lurpak butter to get this as white as possible. And as you can see there, I have a very large, just plain open tip because I am just going to want lots and lots of buttercream on these, just around in a Mr. Whippy swirl, and you want a really good little tip on these because you want it to look like Donald and Daisy the way they have their feathers sticking out of the top of their head. And you can't see my hands. I'm actually doing it on the top of my head, which is really weird because you can't see that. I suppose it's like talking on radio. But anyway, I digress. So do that on all of your cupcakes. Make sure you get that really good little tip to signify the duck head with the feathers coming out of the top. Put those aside to crust a little bit before we put our fondant decorations on. There they are. You can see our lovely little tips on our buttercream. Then we're going to create our fondant toppers. So using some light purple fondant, rolling that out, and I have a bow cutter I'm going to use. I'm simply going to cut out a few bows to put aside and dry for Daisy. These cutters, for some reason with my press out cutters, they sort of put a border around the bow, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to cut all those off. But we'll move on to Donald's cap. Now they are so simple to make. Just break off a little bit of black fondant, roll it into a ball and then flatten it a little bit with your finger on some baking paper or your fondant mat. Do that for however many cupcakes you are making of Donald. So just rolling it into a quick ball and patting it down with your finger. And then you move on to the blue top of his hat, which is pretty much exactly the same. You're going to roll some blue fondant in your hand, press it down with your finger, but you're going to use the side of your finger or your pinky and just put a little bit of a divot into the middle of that hat so that it looks like his lovely sailor's hat, because it always has that bubble where it is a bit bigger on one side and thinner on the other. And then you simply add your black dot to your blue dot and there is Donald's sailor hat. Now I did end up making these just a little bit bigger than I'm showing you here because they just looked better size wise on the cupcakes, but you can use your own judgment call on that. The last thing you have to do for Donald is give him his red bow tie. You can use the exact same bow that you used for Daisy. However, as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm just going to cut the little ribbons off the bottom because it's a bow tie. It's not a ribbon. It's not a bow for your hair. It's a bow tie. It doesn't have those little ribbons hanging down off the bow. So I'm just going to use my little cutter and I'm going to trim off the excess and I'm just going to push the middle in so that it is more of a defined bow tie and then pop those aside to dry. When they are dry, we can move on to finishing off our cupcakes, and they're so simple but they're so cute. So here are our blue and purple cupcakes ready to go. It's just a matter of popping your Donald hat a little bit onto the side because he always wears it on the side of his head. It doesn't go straight on top. Pop that on the side and pop his little red bow tie right in the front. Smack bang in the middle, and there's Donald's cupcake all done. For Daisy, just grab her lovely matching purple bow because she was always matching whatever she wore. She had the matching bow in her hair, and those are your Donald and Daisy Duck cupcakes. I love these. I think they're actually one of my favorite things I have ever done. I do hope that you love these. If you do, please give us a thumbs up. I love to know that you enjoy what we've created. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you again real soon.